Hello everyone, welcome to D4Drupal channel. Today we are going to see about what is a taxonomy term in Drupal 9. Okay, so what is taxonomy term? In Drupal website, taxonomy terms is used to segregate your website content. And a collection of terms here we call it as a vocabulary. So you need to navigate to your taxonomy page by clicking under structure. You have to click vocabulary, and here you will be having a list of all vocabularies whatever we are creating, and these vocabularies are the configuration entity. So when you go inside the terms page, here all these are called as a content entity. Okay, so what is configuration entity? What is content entity? Is that configuration we can move from one environment to another. Content entity we cannot move it from one environment to another environment. Okay, so first what we will do, let's go and create one new vocabulary. So I am going to create a new vocabulary called D for Drupal, and description, categorize the content. So now we are using only English, so it's by default English, and save. So once you saved, you can create a number of terms here. So let's create terms like content type. If you want, before adding terms, let's create some fields here. Okay, so by default it provide title, description, and the how the hierarchy should be. Those fields will be available by default. So I want to add some more fields to meet my client requirement. So I just want to create new field. So the field will be a radio button, list text. So here, mm, category. So here allowed values. So I'm going to mention here as module. Let's keep it as backend and front end. Okay. So allowed values, we need to mention it by separating type symbol. This side the value is the machine name for your value of your select or radio or checkbox field values. So allowed number of values, I'm going to keep it 1. So if you keep it 1, it will be considered as a radio button. If you keep it multiple, that will be considered as a checkbox. So I'm going to make it as 1. So the content will be appears in the radio button as a radio button in the content creation page. So I'm going to make it required and save. So once I saved field, I'm going to edit it. So this is a vocabulary edit page. So let's create new term here. So here it's module creation, and description if you want you can give. I'm not going to give a description here. So here the category is listing here, displaying there. So let's move the category at the top. So here we have category field. I'm going to drag and drop it there. Okay, so I dragged and I'm going to save it. So once you saved, when you refresh here, so you can see the category field is moved up. Okay, so first it's module creation. So this module creation is it's backend related. So I'm going to give backend and save. And next one is twig altering. So twig altering is a front end thing. So I'm going to give front end. Hooks creation. So this will be the backend. So going to select backend. Styling. Styling is a front end. So we almost created 4, I think. Let's see how much we have created. So we have 4 terms here, and 2 is for front end and 2 is for back end. Okay. So we successfully created a taxonomy vocabulary, and we created list of terms inside the vocabulary. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to create a new field for this vocabulary in the content type. Okay. For that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate to the D4Drupal content type. I'm going to manage fields of that content type. And here I'm going to add new field. So this will be for the vocabulary which we created now. Okay. So our vocabulary is D4Drupal vocabulary, and I'm going to save it. So I'm going to keep only one value. Here, if you want to make it required, you can make, and the vocabulary will be D4Drupal alone. You can select multiple vocabularies. I'm going to select only D4Drupal, and I'm going to save it. So once you saved, when you go and add D4Drupal content, so here you can see the field is autocomplete. Okay, so you can change the field to autocomplete to some other type of widget. So let's change this to checkbox or radio something. So here it will be displayed as a radio because the cardinality we represented only one, right? So it will be one. So that's it. And one more option we are also having here, a tag string. So we can add multiple by using comma separator, but we are having only one here, so one cardinality, so you can add only one content there. So this is a D4 Drupal taxonomy video. Okay, so D4 Drupal content. So here I'm going to make it a scope creation. Okay, I'm going to save it. It's throwing error. Yeah, actually we changed the radio button, right? That's why maybe. Let's reload and do it. D4 Drupal taxonomy video. Drupal. And here we, okay, model creation and save it. So now we successfully created this content, right? So next what I'm going to do, we are going to create one more content in the same content type. So that is D4 Drupal content type video. Here, twig ordering. Let's create one more. D4 Drupal image styling video. And here I'm going to use hooks creation. No, let's make it a module creation. So we have 2 for module creation, 1 for twig ordering, I think. So let's click on this. Let's click on D4 Drupal, the value. So when you click on the term name, so here you can see the 2 content which we created for this particular term value. Okay. So we had one more content, right? She's content type creation. Okay. So when you click on this twig altering, so it will display only the content type video contents because the only one content is belong to this particular vocabulary. Okay, so this page is coming from a view. So when you go to structure views, so here you can see taxonomy slash term edit. This is the page which is giving result for us. So here the term ID is passed in the argument. So for that particular term ID, whatever the content available in your website, those will be displaying there based on your teaser mode of the content. Okay. So that that's it about basic creation of this field. And we have one more feature in this field is that, so we are making it straightly, we are selecting the vocabulary here, right? So instead of this, you can use a view here. Okay, so let's do it by creating a new view. Okay, I will tell you how to do that. So for that, I am going to create a new view. So here it's a reference field filter. Let's keep it reference field filter. And I'm going to create this view for taxonomy term. So taxonomy term for D4 Drupal content, sorry, term vocabulary type. And I'm going to create a page. So here you cannot create reference display here itself. So you have to create page or block and then only you can create. So I'm going to save it. So once you save, here you have a one more option to add a display. So in this, I'm going to add a display called entity reference. So once you add, you can notice there is a red color border, so which represents that the display is not yet completed because it needs some search field configuration, which means that when you use autocomplete in your content creation, when user search some content, when they type A, B, C or whatever, should display some suggestions, right? So the suggestion how it should work. For that, you need to select here the field search field. So whatever the content you are typing, those search fields will work on your taxonomy name field. So when you search Drupal, wherever the entity contains name with Drupal, those entity will be appears in the top. Okay. So this is what the same that field also providing, right? But what is the difference between both? That I will tell you now. So what difference is that you can add new field like category which we created now. Category, right? No, it's deep for Drupal field. Okay, it's category only. So this is the field which we created in our taxonomy term, right? So I'm going to apply this for this display. So I want to display only the backend category. I don't want to use front end category in this display. So what I'm going to do, so I just saved it. So once you saved, you can notice at the bottom, it's displaying only two. It's not displaying the front end topics, right? So now what we will do, we will go to your manage field settings of your this page. And here what we are going to do, we are going to change this to view by filter by entity reference view. I'm going to select that particular view which we created now. And if you have any contextual filter, you can add arguments. Here I don't have any contextual filter and I'm going to save it as it is, how it is. So once you saved, when you go and create a new content, so when you create new content, Drupal content, just think it's Drupal content. So I'm going to select any term here. Okay. And down here, this is the content which you filtered by the entity view display, right? So when I type A, so you can see it's not displaying the twig altering. Since twig contain A, it's not displaying, it's displaying only the term which contains backend category. Okay, so I'm going to select modification and save it. Okay, so this is how we can use the taxonomy term entity reference display in your views and you can use it. Okay, that's it about today's session and you can find my information here. And if you like the video, please share, like, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.